Hello everybody, this is my friend Jacqui, and today we're having a chat with each other and James is behind the camera.
Hello everybody.
And we're coming from Bridgnorth.
Yes, on holiday.
Here for the weekend. I have to say, Bridgnorth so far has been very, very good. It's a lovely place. Would recommend if you get the opportunity to come and visit, do come and visit. But the best bit about it is that while Anne and I was out today, because we are friends, you may not have
We are friends.
realised the connection. You may not be getting that vibes that we're besties. But
We are besties.
we've been besties for a few decades.
Yes.
Well, not say how long, but we do go back quite a bit. And in terms of that going back quite a bit, we first met when I went to South Trafford, where Anne was working at the time, to do a reflexology
Yes, I remember it well.
and a body massage course. And I turned up and I went, I would like to sign up for da-da-da-da-da. And says, well, have you not thought of like doing them both? No, why would I do them both? Because they complement each other. As
right.
you're learning from one, you can learn the other at the same time. And you only have to learn the body once. And anybody who knows Anne knows that she's an expert on the body.
Except my own.
Oh, I don't know. You kept your body in good shape. Yeah, from where you started to where you are now, you're in good shape. Yeah. And people notice that. And they also noticed, like when we were out shopping today, our friendship.
Yes.
Because we were deciding to, well, no, Anne initially decided that she was going to buy a mug, a little cute tiny mug for putting milk in to make porridge. And I was there like, do my usual, should I not? And then I was like, oh yeah, I will. And we were deciding and I said, oh, I'll get this. And Anne said, well, I'll pay. And I went, well, okay then, I'll give you the money. And the lady who was serving us said, oh, it was like a bit of sadness there and also an acknowledgement that people have these level of friendships.
Yeah.
And she went, I've never had a female friendship like that.
And it's sad, it was sad, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Because she was very vivacious, the lady.
She was, yeah, because she went out to say, tell us about her stall. Her stall was there. Then she had her father and then she had her daughter. So the whole row was like their family. And I went, but we've been friends forever. She says, but the way you just kind of chatting is so easy with, with each other. And it's like, well, how else would your friendship be? And it's that level of, and I suppose it builds up over a couple of years.
And I think that's the problem though, isn't it? Is because people now haven't got the opportunities to make those friendships quite the same. And often not their fault. Because of the way the society is now, they don't have the groups of people and people are not going to night school like they used to.
No, and they don't even offer.
Yours was a night school,
Yeah.
It wasn't a full day because you were working at that time, weren't you?
I was my professional career was totally different to what I was doing in terms of South Trafford. It was part of the criminal justice system and I had changed. So in terms of being in an office, I had gone into a prison and the whole structure of that was completely kind of different. It was very much a 9 to 5 kind of job as opposed to an office where there was more like evening work and the flexibilities and the variety was different. This was focused because the prison closed at set times and you couldn't work beyond those times. So it's like, oh, well, what do I do at my evenings?
And what Jacqui isn't saying is at that time she was the first probation officer to go into a prison.
No, I wasn't. I might have been the first black.
Exactly, I didn't say that.
No, I did because I am black.
You did, yeah. So, but what was the experience like to go into a prison? Because none of us can even imagine it, can we? I mean, 30 years ago we're talking about now, 30 years ago, when you were much younger.
I am still young, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So 30 years ago,
Yeah.
when you walked into a male prison, by the way,
Yeah.
not a female,
Yeah.
were you scared?
No. No, because it was down, I suppose it's, your professionalism, how personable you are, and also aware of the situation and the level of security that operates within that environment, and that you're going to meet a variety of individuals for whatever reason, and always being almost holding a very firm but friendly line. And that went for the staff as well as the inmates, because after my time in the prison, they gave me, and I think they said it was the first time they'd done this, an epaulette, and they'd written on it and said how better the world would be if everybody was as laid back as Jacqui.
Oh, that's lovely. That's really nice.
I kept that.
Not changed though, have you?
What, laid back or just being horizontal?
Laid back. Yeah.
I do occasionally stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it was...
So how did the male prisoners treat you or accept you?
Right, as long as you, I think from my point of view, as long as you accepted and worked with them that they were individuals and whatever reasons they were there was different to the next person, and always hold on to the fact that you were working with an individual who, some of them contributed to the fact that they were there. Some of them, it was just circumstances or factors within their life that led them to being there. But I tell you, there were some fun times.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some very interesting people. And there were some very traumatized and troubled people. Because I remember once ringing up for this drug agency for this individual and say, they really want to do it this time. And the person at the other end say, yeah, they always want to do it this time when they're in prison. And it's like, but no, really, they really do. And it's like, yeah, and it's like you try and set up, and then you know, following on from that they'd probably go out and it'd be like back. But I do remember one interesting guy, and they were terming as an old lag, and they did call him, the prisoners and the staff called him.
That's because they kept coming back.
Yeah.
That's why you call them an old lag.
Yeah. And
reoffending.
Yeah.
To get back.
And it was minor. It's not to dismiss it or anything like that, but he wasn't harming anybody directly. Indirectly, there's always somebody you're harming. But he was saying, like, I need to come back for Christmas because at least I know I'll get a Christmas dinner.
Oh,
and
it's sad, isn't it?
It is sad on one hand, but it was quite comical when he said it on the other. But I don't think that's a situation now in prison. I think it's like everything else. It's tough. It's tough for those in there, and it's tough for those outside in the community, and it's even tougher for their families. But
that's the same in general, isn't it? With education and everything now, is we're going by rules rather than feelings and personalities. Rules set. But when we went to, both of us go to James's fun fit class, don't we?
Yes.
On a Wednesday. And on last Wednesday, as we were leaving, there's a musical group, musicians.
The ukulele.
They're quite elder. They play ukulele, don't they? They're not the normal. And they have the hair, the plaits and things like that in there. Grey hair, I'm saying, very, very, very grey hair. And like one of them, they were sat there, and I said, this is our last fun fit tonight. And he said, oh, why? So I said, because James is going back to teaching. So he said, oh, I was a teacher. So I said, oh, were you? What subjects did you teach? And he said, I taught maths and English and sociology in the prison. He said to me, in the prison. So I said, oh, that's interesting. So he said, yes, they used to all come to me because I taught sociology. And they used to say to me when they came up, why do I keep offending and why do I keep doing this? He said, and I used to give the same answer, because you like doing it. But what I'm trying to say is I found the same when I was nursing. You have to develop a sick sense of humour in a way, because otherwise you wouldn't cope, would you?
No, you wouldn't.
So people may think that you're laughing, but they don't understand if we don't have humour in life, and I mean this in the whole of life now, if we don't have that,
Yeah.
we'll all go under, and life is becoming too serious, isn't it?
It certainly is, yeah.
You can't pull somebody's leg anymore.
I know, and I mean, it was like an icebreaker. It was like getting to know somebody and finding out their level of humour and your level of humour. And it's just like, it's gonna people like afraid. Well, not afraid, but that spontaneity in terms of having a laugh and joke with somebody. And it might only be fleeting. I mean, the amount of times we had laughs and jokes with people in Bridgnorth today.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did, yes.
Yeah, bumping into people, or those children when they were coming out that alley, and we stopped to look and think, do you know, that'd be a nice street to live up there.
Yes.
And the girl came out and she went, I live up there.
Yes.
And it's like, and I said, is it nice to live up there? And she went, yes, it's very nice. She said, it might be a bit noisy. And then her mum went, yeah, and the car alarms tend to go off every now and again. But she went, but it's still nice. And it was like that real, like, you know, happiness and glee in that you've kind of acknowledged where I live, and it's a lovely place, and I live, and her face kind of lit up. Or the young girl who picked up your money when...
because I was paying for the jugs, and we were that busy.
All right, yes, you were paying for the jugs.
Talking about the jugs, that I turned my purse upside down, and all the money out of my purse went all over. But that little girl who came, suddenly this child's on her hands and knees picking up every single penny on the floor, picked it all up, gave it to me, didn't say a word, and then just ran off. Except the lady by that time had come round to help us pick it up. And she said to the little girl as she went, give me a high five. That's wonderful. And she gave her a high five.
And went on her way.
Isn't that what life should be about?
Yeah.
And then we went to the man with the books.
I know.
I was looking for books, and then I saw the books of the book I was really talking about with James last week. I'm literally just finishing that book. And there was this author, 2 books of his. And I said, oh, I'm just reading those. And we got into a lovely conversation with him about books.
Yeah.
And he was telling us about his father, the books his father read, the books he read.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's what life should be, isn't it?
Yeah, those brief but fleeting moments that kind of give you a little joy, and you can't kind of miss as a beat, and a smile appears on your face.
Yes.
And then you walk about and you go on to do whatever you're going to do. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't always happen, but you know when it does, it's worthy of celebrating and like remembering it and putting it down to, you know, there are still good people out there.
Yes.
Yeah. Like the woman when he was a young girl when we went to buy the bread and was like saying, oh, whose bag's in the crust?
Yes.
And she went, what, do you like the crust? I went, yeah. We all like the crust, but there's only 2, so I don't know what we're going to do. And she went, oh, I like butter with my bread, especially the crust.
Yeah.
All right. It's like, yeah, I know what you mean. It's just simple things like that.
It is simple things.
And she smiled. Oh, the woman went into Tesco with the dog.
Yes, holding the dog.
Holding the dog.
Yeah, she's holding a customer's dog. A customer's going round, and the girl who works there is holding a dog as we go in.
Yeah.
So... It's sad, isn't it, that we're in Bridgnorth and yet we can go back to Manchester and the atmosphere will be completely different again.
Yeah.
So it makes me think it's maybe the fault of ourselves that we're not, obviously we're doing it, but it's sometimes the fault that people don't make the effort or are too scared to talk to somebody in that way. And so fear must get in the way sometimes of socialising. Yeah.
Or the fact that if you say something, you think somebody's not
offended.
Yeah. Or they're going to think, what are you doing? Why are you speaking to me? And it's like, no, it's just a fleeting acknowledgement. Yes. Or, I mean, the amount of people as you were walking past today and you smiled and they smiled back. And there'll be loads of people out there who will be saying, yeah, I know that always happened when you're making a big deal about it. But it is worthy of making a big deal about it.
I don't know whether you've noticed either today while we were walking around, which I noticed, is that I'm talking about elderly lady now. I won't say old, but they are old, but they're elderly lady. I'm talking about ladies in the 70s now. How funky they were all dressed. Did you notice?
And the hair.
And the hair, yeah.
Yeah.
That was it was amazing as we were walking around. And we went into that shop yesterday and the lady was looking at all these really funky clothes and she seemed to go in a lot.
Yes.
So I think what we need is a bit of Bridgnorth everywhere where the atmosphere is very light. Yeah.
And people, well, everybody will say, well, our town's friendly, this is friendly and that's friendly. But there's like an openness and a willingness to be friendly and to acknowledge people. Not to stand and have in-depth conversation, just a fleeting nod and you go about your business. But that sprinkling of joy has just been there and it's lifted your day and it's probably lifted their day. Because it happens. I mean, even when you're saying that shop, when we were walking around Shrewsbury, do like people just like smiling or going on hello or the girl who served us when we went.
It's market towns, Jacqui. I think it's market town where markets are still going because when you remember what we used to have in Manchester years ago, how many markets did we have then?
We had a few.
Because with my daughters, going to markets was a day out. But in the markets then, they would be juggling plates.
Oh, yeah.
And today, that I said to you, isn't that brilliant? Because that lady was shouting, wasn't she?
She was like,
bananas a pound a bunch, come and have a pound a bunch. And she was getting rid of her stock. 3 bags of strawberries for £5.
Get it before you get back on the bus. So there must have been a bus dropped them off. And she was like saying, buy them before you get back on the bus. And it was like, just to hear that banter. And that used to be around quite a lot. Because as a young child, the Barrel Boys in Manchester, we used to, from school, we'd get the bus in and meet our mum on it was a Thursday. I always remember I don't know why it was a Thursday, but we would do it on a Thursday and go shopping.
Yes.
And she would buy the fruit and veg from the Barrel Boys.
Yeah.
And people would be saying, Barrel Boys, what are that? And it's like, once upon a time in Manchester, there used to be a street by the northern quarters in front of the car park that is still there, where all the barrels would be there selling fruit and veg.
Yes.
Yeah. And you would go there and you would get your fruit and veg. And then we would walk to, and this is a shop from the past, Littlewoods, and get other bits and pieces when the Arndale was there. So you had Littlewoods, which was next to British Home Store. And yes, if I'm mentioning these shops and people are going, what? What is that? They're not on the high street anymore, but they're what is called being online now. British Home Stores is online now, and they're still doing the lighting, and they were always known for their lighting. They had the best
Yes, they did.
Best selection of lighting that was reasonably priced.
I used to go to Littlewood, so my daughters, that would be the same time because that's when I was taking my daughter the same time as you were going, and I used to go to Littlewoods for rissoles and their sausages every Friday, and that was a day out, and then go for the fruit and veg at the Barrows. But then down, was it called Pitt Street, where the animals were?
Tib Lane.
Tib Street, not Pitt Street, Tib Street.
Yeah.
And we used to have, they used to go down there, and that's where they had all the animals, didn't they? But it wasn't just dogs.
Oh no,
they had every sort of animal.
They had a lot
that they were selling.
It was very pungent.
A full day out.
You knew you were down Tib Street as you were walking down it, and you were always glad to get out at the opposite end because it was like fresh air.
Yeah.
And we'll leave it there. It was not necessarily anything to do with, but I suppose it's the collection. And the Army and Navy store was down there as well. Yeah, because we would go down there and get every school term, the beginning, our army bags because we were so cool.
Yeah. So myself, what I'd like is that I'd like that back, the atmosphere back, and people that feel free and don't have to watch everything they're saying. We don't have to be politically correct. Conscious of somebody's feelings always, but not politically correct.
So you'd like people to be unpolitically correct and just say whatever they want?
Yeah, and without offending anybody, because once you start thinking you're offending somebody, then you do that yourself. You hold back,
and you don't.
So we have to get to a stage where, if we do, we just say, "I'm sorry, I didn't know you felt like that, but I'm sorry about it," but not stop ourselves talking and having a laugh with somebody.
Yeah.
Because what we've learned today, just being in this little market today, was wonderful for us, not just them.
Yeah, because it made our day far more pleasant than if it was just walking around, looking in the shop and not engaging. And there'll be people saying, well, you just can't go to start talking to little children. But this little child, like I said, was with a mother. I wouldn't advocate just, any child on the street like, hello, how are you?
No.
Because the fear you might instill in that child, that could affect them later on. If they've got an adult with them, then you know that child is safe and you're safe with that child.
But in actual fact, the children instigated it today, not us.
I know.
In both cases, it was the children who were free enough to be able to speak.
And just pick up on the comment that we said, was that because it was a very pretty, as you look down, it was like an alleyway where you could see the cottages either side.
It was beautiful.
And had like flower, what would you say? How do you describe it? Hanging baskets.
Hanging baskets.
It was.
How would you describe it?
Hanging baskets.
I think that's our time to finish, because we're both losing the plot.
Right, okay.
So thank you everybody for being with us today, and I hope you've enjoyed listening to us. Bye.
Bye-bye.